A resistivity utility. It's some custom software we wrote using the SwiftVISA as a backend to kind of control our nano-voltmeter so we can collect 4-point probe measurements. We have the ability to come to our preferences, put our Visa address for the piece of equipment. We hit connect. We wait for this green light to go through, and that means it's established connection with our nano-voltmeter. And then we have the ability to put in a delay between the measurements, to take measurements at specific time intervals. We have the ability to set what's the delay, the units, microseconds, milliseconds, seconds, minutes, hours. Okay, so if you're doing like a really long study to see how something ages, you can come up here and say collect the measurement every hour. Okay, and what's really kind of nice about this is if you watch us go down to say milliseconds, it'll convert this to 1 hour to milliseconds. So it preserves what value it's supposed to be even if we change our units. So we'll put it back to 20 milliseconds. We can come here, say how many measures we want. We want to take 5, and it's going to average those together. If we're to calculate resistivity, we can configure it by telling the system what the thickness is, some correction factors. It kind of defaults to 1 for this material, for this system, and then we give it a name. This could be demo, and the location is location number 1, and we'll go ahead and collect the measurement. If you're actually looking at the system, you see it collect these measurements. When it's all done collecting these 5 measurements, it'll spit us out. It'll tell us what the raw data is and the graph and the means are. It should be done in a second. It actually takes more than 20 milliseconds to take a measurement. Okay, so now we're starting to see those measurements come into the system. So these are the resistivity, resistance, and the calculated resistivity for the 5 measurements we told it to take. It took 20 seconds per measurement. We can look at this in some statistical data, and then just look at our means. So if we went from point to point, let's go to a new location. So I just lift up the system, move to a new spot, come in here, hit play. It's going to go through, like I said, it'll take a minute to actually put your measurements. But we have the ability to export both the raw data, which is each of those measurements, along with the summary data. So now if we come over here, we look at our graph, we've seen how things have shifted a little bit, tightened up in 1. We can also look at our means for each of these measurements. And then we have the ability to export our data. I'm just going to put it on the desktop. And this creates a folder of both our raw values, right, from those 5 measurements, and also our summary data, because sometimes you want to see the raw data, sometimes all you care about is the means. Okay, so that is that's our resistivity utility. It was all built in using standard Apple APIs. This is not a LabVIEW instrument, and there you go. Okay.